Welcome back.
What's up?
We in this bitch.
We in this.
We do be.
Last time we did sit down restaurants.
Yeah, chains.
Still 2 down. That's fine. That's fine.
Right. You might get me on this one.
8 and 6.
But I'm not gonna argue it.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
So the interesting about this, we decided to do video game consoles, and the interesting about this is,
it's not
that Brandon isn't like a gamer,
right.
but I have a problem, and I'm willing to admit that. And so I have really strong opinions on basically every single one of these.
Right. And
to the point that when we were looking through the list, because we pre-drafted it again, I had to explain to Brandon what some of these were.
Yeah.
And so, I feel like there's going to be a lot of opinions, and I feel like I'm going to suck a lot of the air out of the room.
Well, and it's like, it could be because, like, there's, a 7-year age difference between us?
That is true. I am 29.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of these, whereas you were just simply too young for them, right?
Yeah, I've had a good majority of them.
Yeah, this is not saying that Brandon doesn't know anything, obviously,
right.
But
I've either owned or, at least played them consistently.
Yeah.
A good majority of them. To know enough.
Brandon wasn't there in 1998 to get Ocarina of Time at the midnight release like I was.
It wasn't.
And so that's the difference there. But anyways, I think this should be good.
But did you watch No Way Out 2008?
No, I know.
I mean, that's okay. See, do you know what that is?
No,
it's a wrestling favorite.
No, yeah. See, we're gonna get into wrestling later, and that's when Brandon will suck the air out of the room, and I'll have fucking no idea what's going on.
Did you watch All in 2019?
I'm gonna assume it's another wrestling thing.
It absolutely is.
See, look, I might as well have.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways,
who was Bandito's tag partner?
Dude, Taco Bandito.
Sure.
Anyways,
absolutely. Cut it out.
We're gonna hop into these.
Yeah.
And I know Brandon has opinions on some of them, so it's not like I'm just gonna be the only one talking. So I'm excited. Let's go in first. The 3DS. Let's start with each of these. Did you ever own a 3DS?
I never
think
owned
we talked
one.
About this.
No. So I never owned one, but my cousins had some, and so whenever we'd hang out with them or something, we'd play on them.
Yeah.
It's like I had friends in school who would bring me to class and stuff, so it's like I know of them and I've played on them, but not. I never owned one, so I never played on them consistently.
Not heavily played on them.
Right.
I have 6 of them.
Yeah. Obviously.
And
for sure.
Some of my favorite games of all time are on the 3DS.
Really?
Fire Emblem Awakening.
Right.
Maybe one of the best games ever made ever.
Right.
And I have, not even kidding, probably 400 hours on that thing.
Really?
And that's a 3DS only game.
Damn.
Yeah. 3DS is wonderful. Where did you put it?
I put it in B.
Okay.
I never played it enough to really form a very solid opinion.
I understand
on
that. Where did you put it in B?
It's middle of the pack.
But you understood that it's a good enough console to be up there, right? I did put it as my bottom of A.
Okay.
But I can concede that B would be good, but I do tentatively would want to put it at the top of B at least.
Right.
And I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Especially this model of the 3DS. The later ones, the new 3DS and the 3DS XLs, really, really are fantastically wonderful.
Really?
Perfect handhelds. Yeah,
okay.
They're wonderful. And the crazy part is they're not that expensive to get either.
That makes sense.
They're so worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, on to the Dreamcast. For this one, because I know Brandon's never had one,
yeah.
I brought in a visual aid. So here is a Dreamcast. So Brandon can feel how goofy that boy is.
It's a thick boy.
Yeah.
But it's not overly thick. Because
No.
a lot of the ones that are overly thick, you could say the OG Xbox, because it's wider.
It's really heavy.
And it's still really heavy while still being wider than this.
Yeah.
This doesn't. It's not horrible.
Yeah.
But I feel for the time.
Yeah. And you gotta remember our disc drive really was only on the PlayStation 1, and so it's really kind of badass to have the disc drive. But the main thing, you're probably not gonna be able to see it, is you can right there it says compatibles with Windows CE. This ran Windows.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty tight.
This ran Windows.
That's actually really cool.
Which also caused a major problem for piracy because this could connect to the fucking internet through an Ethernet cord.
Tight.
And you can just download games.
That's really cool.
This is in 1998.
That's wild.
Yeah, and so, but then piracy became such a problem because they didn't know how to protect against it back then.
Right.
But the main thing about the Dreamcast, and this is the divider, is the controller. And I don't know if you've ever even held
a screen on the controller.
So this is the memory card actually has a little screen on it.
Very tight.
This is for anybody who doesn't know what a Dreamcast is. And you actually can play mini games when you're away from your Dreamcast and like level up characters and shit on your VMU.
I'm not a huge fan of this controller.
And that's exactly why I show it to you. It's because it is
a very like.
What the fuck? I can't do my VMU in there. There we go.
It's a very like tight grip.
It is a very weird controller. Right? Like I think this sets a lot of people back on their Dreamcast because it is funky. The joystick sucks. I mean, there's no way around it.
Right.
But the big thing about this, first controller with the triggers that were like, you can half pull them.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Racing games and stuff on the Dreamcast are amazing because then you have the acceleration control. So, like, just know that your Xbox and your PlayStation controllers come from here.
The Dreamcast controller.
Because, like, your PlayStation 1 had just straight up analog.
Yep.
On, off. This has the
actual, like, trigger.
And so that's really... I don't know, that makes a big deal to me. And then also interesting, sorry, I'm just going to tell you more things.
Got you.
The layout, ABXY, Xbox totally steals it.
Yeah,
it's the exact same on a Xbox as it is on Dreamcast.
Just different colors.
Just different colors. It's really weird.
Interesting.
Really weird. But anyways, Dreamcast, I think is fucking rad. The VMUs are so sick. You get to play games. And also, like, they'll, like, so say you're playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater on it. And you set a high score, this will actually make a sound and it'll say like "congrats" on the little screen and stuff. It's pretty dope actually.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, Dreamcast is sick, but the controller
it's just funky. Like it's an awkward hold.
It's weird.
But
it's weird.
I don't think that really takes away too much from.
Yeah, and honestly, like the weird part is when you're actually playing the Dreamcast, because I have the same thing where it's like, God, this controller is weird. But when you're actually playing,
really, you don't even think about it.
It's wonderful.
Right.
Where did you put the Dreamcast out of curiosity?
I never played.
He made a never played list. I forgot about that. Maybe someday him and I will just play Virtua Tennis. I guarantee it'll change your opinion on the Dreamcast.
Well, I don't have an opinion.
No. I'm sorry. I mean,
it'll help.
It will set a positive opinion.
Gotcha.
Is what I meant.
Because I was gonna say, like, I never owned it, obviously, because it was only a couple years before my time, which is. Like, it's close enough, but at the same time, it's like, I never really experienced a lot of that.
The real answer, and the reason why, for me, I put it in D for Dreamcast, not saying that it's a D-list console, there's so many amazing consoles that go up for me, that the Dreamcast kind of sinks down to somewhere in the middle pack.
I gotcha.
And I put it in D, but I do have it at the top of D, just because that's kind of how it is. There's not really a reason to have a Dreamcast.
Right.
Like
okay, for sure.
Like everything that's on the Dreamcast you can get elsewhere, except for Typing of the Dead. And I don't know if have you ever heard of that game?
No.
Do you know House of the Dead?
Yeah.
So House of the Dead is a rail shooter where you shoot zombies. Typing of the Dead, there's an actual keyboard that hooks up to the Dreamcast, and you have to type the words that are across the zombies' heads to headshot them.
Dope.
And so the faster you type, the more zombies you kill. And it's awesome.
I would fucking murder that game, dude.
Well, I love it because typing's like my whole entire thing. Yeah. That's my jam. Typing the Dead.
Well, and the reason I say I would murder that game is because, like, I'm a fucking fast typer.
Nah, what do you got?
I don't even know. Words per minute wise?
Like, yeah.
I don't even think I could give you, like, a reasonable answer.
Dude, that's
it's not something that I know.
Maybe we just learned something about the bottom tier boys. Is that
we're both fast fucking typers.
Nasty typers.
Yeah. I think, like, when I was in, like, high school and stuff, we'd have to, like, read essays and everything. I was pounding them out pretty quick just because of, like, how fast I was typing.
And then I have 2 jobs. My other job is literally just typing. So, like, that's all I do all day, every day. Dude, that's sick. Wow, cool.
It sucks we don't get to do any typing in our actual job, like in
I know, right?
Our job that we share.
Yeah, dude. I wish we could just type notes to each other. Miss you, bud.
Then Michelle wouldn't yell at us.
Yeah. Then we want to get in trouble every time for talking to her. Because, okay, what you see now, this random shit that we're just talking about, this is our whole life for 7 hours straight. To the point that the manager's like, if either of you talk, I will Send you guys
write you up.
away.
We will write you up. We will like keep you away from each other because you're both just getting distracted.
And this is our outlet for finally getting to talk to each other. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, way long tangent to say Dreamcast pretty middle of the pack.
Word.
But at some point I will make you play Virtua Tennis at least.
Chill.
It's so good. Okay. DS. This is the original DS.
Love it.
Love it.
I love the DS a lot because it's what I had.
Where did I put that bad boy? Oh, okay. I also put it in D for DS.
Interesting.
But, again, my caveat is, I'm not saying that it is a D tier console. I am just spreading my tier list out a little bit further.
Have to.
Because there are such S tier consoles. And for me, it was here, this is where I put it, not saying it's a bad console at all.
Right.
And so I think this is where it's going to get muddy, is because you're probably more accurately rating it as an A tier or whatever.
It's a B for me.
It's a B?
I have it at the top of B.
And I'm honestly fine with that. You think it's...
Well,
this is the problem, is the 3DS, you don't have enough time to get a good... But again, it is our list, and I do love the DS.
Right.
So I'm totally fine putting it above the 3DS.
Yeah. The DS I like the DS so much.
I'm so fine.
I remember every chance I got, I was like begging my mom for
DS
more
is
DS
badass,
games.
and also WarioWare Touch. You never played it?
So many games that I haven't played that you have just mastered at this
WarioWare
point.
Touch, Touched, maybe. I played it on someone else's DS. This is before I ever had one.
Mm-hmm.
And that day I took every Game Boy game I had, and this was a big regret still to this day, is I went trading them all in to buy a DS to get WarioWare. And I played the shit out of it. Yeah. But it was my first DS game. Oh, baby, that game was so sick.
I think I still have my DS at home, just in a drawer.
I have 2 copies of WarioWare Touch, so I can give you one.
Very tight.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I have 2 copies.
Every chance I get, like, if I'm ever at, like, a pawn shop or something, I always look for, like, DS games, and then I look for old, like, Game Boy Advance games, because, like, I don't own an Advance or an Advance SP anymore.
But
DS,
I
still have my DS,
and the DS
so
fucking
the
plays
compatibility is tight.
Phenomenal. Yeah, compatibility is dope.
Yeah.
Interesting thing, you can lose the top screen on your DS and still play the Game Boy Advance.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's where I played a majority of like Metroid and stuff. It was on my DS.
Zero Mission or Fusion?
Zero Mission fucks so hard, right?
God,
Zero Mission so
I
good.
love Metroid so much.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
Especially Zero Mission was my jam.
Dude, Metroid Fusion too. Oh, dude, those Game Boy and all the. Did you play any of the Game Boy Advance Castlevanias?
Castlevania 2, I want to say.
Yeah, there's Aria and Shadow and stuff like that. That's the ones that are on the DS.
There was like, I don't even remember. I had a Castlevania game. I don't even know which one it was.
It might be one of those.
Because it wasn't one that I played as much.
It might be one of those. Oh, so good. Anyways.
Well, it had to have been because it was on the Game Boy Advance.
Okay, and then speaking of Game Boy Advance is our next one.
I had one, didn't like it as much. I loved the SP.
Okay, so here's the big asterisk on this list.
Yeah.
Whoever made this list did not put a Game Boy Advance SP in there, which completely, entirely changes everything.
The way the list looks,
a Game Boy Advance SP, one of the greatest consoles ever made ever.
It's the best.
Game Boy Advance, for me, I had it in C.
Yeah, that's where I have it.
You have it in C as well? Perfect. Okay. Game Boy Color.
I have the Game Boy Color in A because I love
I have the Game Boy Color in B.
Yeah.
And I would be so fine putting it above
Very
both the DS and the 3DS, honestly.
I think the Game Boy Color was like the first handheld console that I got.
Oh, what a good one to start with,
right?
too. Bro. What an amazing one.
Because like the first like video game console that I got was... Actually, it was a Wii, because I got a Wii before I got a GameCube or an N64.
You got a Wii first? What an interesting start to a video game.
Well, because we got it the year that the Wii came out, like 06 or 07.
Okay.
For Christmas from my aunt and uncle. And it was like the only console that I had for a long time. And then like for like birthdays and stuff.
Interesting.
For like birthdays or like holidays and stuff, we would get either like a game for the Wii or we would get like just another console that like my dad would find at like a pawn shop.
Your dad would find a Game Boy or something.
So we found like... I think, yeah, dude. The first console, like
Game Boy Color.
It was a Game Boy Color. It was a little teal one. It was the best. I had one game for it.
I had a teal one.
Did you?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, bro.
I had It was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Actually, that game's sick.
That game fucked really
sick.
hard.
I watch the people still speedrun that game.
Really?
Yeah, and it's badass.
Dude, that game's great. It was the only game I had for the Game Boy Color, and then I lost the charger.
Of course, you can't talk Game Boy Color without Pokemon.
Right.
And fucking Gold and Silver.
I played most of my Pokemon on the SP.
Gold, greatest Pokemon ever made.
Yeah.
Sorry. Dude, Game Boy Color's so sick. What a good console. What a first good like handheld console. Yeah. What a amazing. I think honestly it might have been my first handheld. No, I had a Game Boy Pocket. Just kidding.
Right.
Game Boy Color, phenomenal.
It's great, dude. It's so
I do want to, when we get to the Wii, I want to hear more. That's an interesting, like, let's wait till we get to Wii, but like what games and stuff you got for
dude,
as your first video game console. That's a really interesting one, and I remember the
first 2 games that I got because I got them at the same time because it was for Christmas for my dad.
We'll save it for the Wii. I want to know. Original Game Boy. You probably never had one of these.
Never had one. Only played on them like twice.
Honestly, it's here for me. No, it's here for me.
I have it in C because I don't know.
Yeah, that's where I put it.
More about. I know more about like the actual like the Game Boy Advance that I did, the Game Boy Pocket, like the OG, but I didn't.
Game Boy's great.
Yeah.
But
innovative for sure.
It really stepped its game up here
with the color.
And the color also can play all the Game Boy games. There's no reason to own a Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we go. Rider to the top, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I after I made my list, I forgot that I had 2 S's instead of 1.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's fine, but
that's one of them.
But that's what I mean. I know that this is not the norm, but GameCube to me is the fucking peak. Like, I don't know. Every best game ever made is on the GameCube. Like as far as Nintendo series goes, the best of every single game on the Nintendo, any of the IPs is on the GameCube.
Well, so like Sunshine.
Okay. Wind Waker's fucking phenomenal. I mean, Ocarina of Time's better, but it's on the 64. But Wind Waker's amazing, is what I'm saying. Sunshine is the best Mario game, hands down, easy. Metroid Prime is my favorite Metroid game,
for sure,
fucking awesome. The best Mario Kart game, Double Dash, is on the GameCube.
Okay.
The best Mario Golf game, Toadstool Tour, GameCube.
Okay.
Best Paper Mario 1000 Year Door is on the GameCube. Honestly, like there's so many that it's like, oh yeah, that shit is the best. The best. I gotcha. My favorite Metal Gear Solid, Twin Snakes, is on the GameCube.
Interesting.
The only one in a Nintendo system.
Good point.
Dude, it just GameCube hits it every single time.
Right.
Oh, and my favorite game of all time. How am I not mentioning this? Super Smash Bros. Melee. GameCube.
Yeah.
Also.
Well, and I feel like just that era of video games, especially like just around the time of the GameCube, was like the peak.
The peak. It's the peak. And well, that's the thing is like I know that like there's still amazing games across other consoles, obviously, but GameCube has such an amazing collection of them
games,
that it's really hard to look past. That it just has the best catalog, dude. It's incredible. It's incredible. The best Tales game is on GameCube. Dude, it just GameCube's awesome. Then all of that, shove that away. It's my favorite controller of all time. GameCube controller.
Yeah, it's a very comfortable controller.
It's my favorite controller of all time, and it's just I absolutely completely adore the GameCube.
Fun fact, my least favorite controller of all time is on my favorite console of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it on this list?
It is.
Okay, we'll get to that. Make sure you remember to tell me that, because I'm interested in that.
I will.
My favorite controller of all time, to the point that I think I have probably 45 of them in here, but that's just for Melee, because you have to find very specific, make sure that all the triggers and everything are right. And so I have an ungodly amount of GameCube controllers in this room that we're in. But, dude, GameCube's just rad. And I also want to say that, like, I know that a lot of these are going to be nostalgia-based or whatever, but this isn't, like, my first console. The Super Nintendo's my first console. The GameCube's my, like, fifth console that I had. So it's, like, really, it's still nostalgia-based, but it's not like, that's my first console ever. No, it earned its spot.
Right.
It fucking fought for that. And so, anyways, GameCube's amazing. Genesis. You have never played a Genesis?
Nope.
The only reason to play a Genesis really is for Sonic.
Okay.
And that's about it. And so I actually put it at the very top of my bottom tier. Not, again, asterisk, not saying it's a bad console at all. I actually love across the board all of these consoles.
Except for one.
Just when it's okay, one's actually bad. Okay, so there we go. That's a good call. I'm gonna put in E just to have the one that's actually bad get a go in F. But every other console I actually really adore in here. It's just the Genesis stacked against the GameCube. What is it gonna do? Not much. And so that's that. The next one. This is another one that Brandon doesn't know, the Game Gear, because we found out he's never had any of the Sega consoles. So that's why I brought out my Dreamcast. I don't have a Genesis to show him, but I do have a Game Gear to show him. So you can feel that.
My boy got the Lion King
in
there.
The thing that I think is really funny, especially coming from having a Game Boy Color as your first thing, is I think he was surprised by the 6 AA batteries this bitch takes.
That's stupid.
Yeah. So
dude, I don't want to put like 2 batteries in like my Xbox controller. Why the fuck do I want to put 6?
No fucking joke. This is well before rechargeable batteries.
Yeah.
And not to mention 6 batteries. I think you only get like 2.5 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's just
it eats them. But anyways, that's the Game Gear.
But are those 2 hours great?
They're amazing.
Yeah.
And also, okay, I don't know if you've ever played this, Lion King.
I haven't.
This
Obviously
game,
not.
One of the hardest games ever made.
Really?
Ever. This shit is like frustratingly, incredibly difficult.
Interesting.
Yeah, you beat the first level, you're like, I'm feeling good. Good luck, buddy. You're not beating any of the next ones. It is so hard to do. And then, but the Game Gear actually has an amazing selection of games.
Right.
And it's awesome. But, with all that said, I did put it... Hold on, where did I put it? Oh yeah, I did put it up here with these.
Okay.
Because it's... Might be bad to say, but no, you don't really need one. You don't.
It's not like a big
it's not. Oh, I'm gonna search out a Game Gear.
Right.
Okay, now we got another big one, the Nintendo 64.
So remember what I said about my favorite console.
Yeah.
And my least favorite controller. It's the N64.
Nintendo 64.
I hate the Wave.
The controller is Wavebird's GameCube. That's
it?
That's the wireless.
I thought it was the
wireless GameCube controller is called the Wavebird. But
either way, I hate this controller.
The 3-prong alien controller is horrible.
I love this console very much.
I fucking love the Nintendo 64. Also, the worst joystick of any controller ever. Awful.
Horrible.
And especially when you have Mario Party 2 doing these and it just destroys.
It just rips your hand apart. Absolutely.
Worst controller. I absolutely agree with you.
This is my favorite console of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
All the way up here?
Yeah, without a doubt. I love the
I'm
N64.
down.
My two S's were the GameCube and the N64.
I did put 64 at the top of my B, but that's
at
only...
the top of your B?
But that's only, again, because my A is so stacked.
Yeah, I guess, man. But dude,
But I am... Honestly, I'm so fine to put it in S.
I love the N64.
64 is bad.
More than I love most things.
My favorite Zelda, which is my favorite series, is on the Nintendo 64, which is Majora's Mask.
Yeah. That was the first Zelda game I ever played, was Majora's Mask.
What a weird one to start on.
Well, dude, I wasn't really worried about canon.
Worried
about any of that.
Yeah, and you also weren't worried about Ganon because he's not in that game.
Sick fucking joke.
He's worried about Majora's Wrath, dude.
Dude, absolutely, buddy.
With his whips, remember? Anyways, fucking dude. Zelda is I mean you can't see it, but Brandon can. It's my everything. There's
fucking every bit of this room.
There's Zelda stuff everywhere, and I love Zelda and Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, 64, can't be topped.
Yeah, it's great.
Also, they came out 1998, 2000, 2 years apart. Mm-hmm. Zeldas usually take 8 years or something in between. Isn't that nuts?
That
2 years apart for nuts. 2 years apart for the best two Zeldas.
Two best Zelda games.
What the fuck? And anyways, that's because Aonuma finally took over the Zelda series on Majora's Mask, and that's he changed everything. Anyways, I'm so down to put it way up here.
The N64 is great.
It's fucking phenomenal. We'll argue these placings later.
I don't even think we have to.
Okay, thank God, because I was like, I will. That's gonna be one that we're gonna have.
Well, because like the N64, while it is my while it's just, dude, it's my fucking favorite.
Yeah.
I feel like I put it more as like my favorite for nostalgia purposes.
Okay.
Because the GameCube is.
I mean,
better.
the catalog cannot be argued with on the GameCube.
Right.
Okay, cool, sweet.
But I just have so many.
I'm so fine putting the 64 NES because it fucking home run bats its way through.
Yeah.
Get it?
I hate you.
Anyways, onto the NES. I'm glad that 64 you represent. NES. Where are we at on the NES?
What?
I was kind of harsh on the NES, I think.
Were you?
Because a lot of the games...
A lot of them are what? Like side-scrollers?
Yeah. And I mean, original Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2, I know that's just unpopular opinion, are fucking phenomenal. And that's the only reason for me, okay, Metroid, to want to go back and play an NES.
Right.
Other than that, I don't really know if I... Because the Final Fantasies that are on the NES have ports that are way amazing elsewhere. So, Final Fantasy 1 on the NES is the worst version of that game. And so, like, NES, I honestly I'd be fine without it. Yeah. I mean, I love the boy, but also, I think a lot of its games have been updated elsewhere and do a lot better elsewhere.
Right.
And so, NES, I put it in E. And I would say it's better than the Genesis.
I put it in D because it's like...
In D.
None of... Well,
honestly, okay.
Well, the thing with me is like,
looking at it now...
None of them are like very bad at all.
No.
I don't even think
and I think that's why my problem...
In my list, I don't have any in E or F because either the ones that could potentially be down there, I never played.
Yeah.
And I never used.
Yeah.
Or... I just don't think they warrant being down there.
Right,
but I do understand the idea that we have to...
And this is why I spread mine. I'm not really saying that the NES by any means is a D-tier console.
Right.
Absolutely not. Right. Neither is the Saturn.
Right.
But, comparatively, it really gets beat... Its bricks get beat in on all these, right?
You mean Dreamcast, not the Saturn.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Dreamcast. I feel like... Yeah, this is fine. I would say the NES is better than Game Boy and the Game Gear for sure.
Okay.
Are you cool with that?
I'm cool on that.
Okay, this is a Sega Nomad.
No fucking idea.
And this is the coolest idea.
Bad execution?
No, great execution.
Oh, okay.
But also way too early, okay? So what this came out like a little bit after the Genesis. It full on plays the Genesis carts.
Interesting.
And so imagine you have a PlayStation 5 and then you have a handheld that plays the exact same games as the PlayStation 5.
Right.
That's what this was.
Okay.
It took the full ass cart for the Genesis, played them, and it does great. And the same thing as the Game Gear, it just eats batteries like mad. But it does it. It's just a portable console. It's fucking badass.
Yeah.
But it was like $600.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
So that's why, and they're extremely rare to find now because nobody had them because they're so expensive. But I think you got to pair it with the Genesis because it is just a Genesis, but handheld.
But it's a handheld.
Which is badass, honestly. What an amazing idea.
Yeah.
Like, especially at the time, you got to think that's like 1990. That's 1980. I mean. That's sick as shit, really. Really. That's really cool.
Way ahead.
Yeah. Stupid. Onto the PlayStation 2.
I haven't.
Me too.
I love the PS2.
Me too.
It's really, really good, dude. So many good fucking games on that thing.
PS2 of the PlayStations, the home consoles, is my favorite Sony console.
Yeah.
Of the home consoles. We'll see in a second what I mean, but right now, PlayStation 2 is my favorite Sony console.
Yeah. Of the plug.
And I don't think you can argue against its catalog either.
No, dude.
It's got the sickest... It might be the only console to rival the GameCube as far as
catalog-wise.
As far as dope-ass games.
For sure.
Metal Gear Solid 3, baby? Anyways.
SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, baby?
Dude,
The game's great.
I bought a WWE game for us to play.
What console? What game?
On the PSP.
What game?
It's not here yet. I ordered it because we were gonna play it together. What the fuck was it?
I'm trying to remember.
It was WWE versus.
Was it SmackDown versus Raw?
Might be SmackDown versus Raw.
Well, that was like the big thing in like from like
and
06 to
it's the
09.
PSP version. And the reason I got it is because it's in the top 100 PSP games. And I ordered it and I said, Brandon, I can play this together. And I looked at the ratings. It's rated like 98%.
Yeah.
So, anyways. So I got us a wrestling game to play at some point.
My boy.
Anyways.
I have 2 wrestling games for us to play. We just play them on the Xbox.
Okay, down. I'm so down. Anyways. Back to the task at hand.
Right.
PS2 I did put in A, absolutely. Yeah. On to the PlayStation 3. I put it in... Ooh, I put it in C tier.
I also put it in C.
Really?
Yeah. So, there's the... So...
Ooh, I'm going to get shit on for the next one.
Or, maybe. We'll find out. With the... kind of like the war between Sony and Microsoft and everything when the consoles were coming out. The PS2 and the original Xbox were out around the same time. The PS3 and the 360, then the 4 and the Xbox One, and then now the PS5 and the Series X or whatever. It goes back and forth because, like, the PS2 easily better than the original Xbox.
Hands down.
But the Xbox 360 is better than the PS3.
And I agree with that majorly.
And then you could probably argue the PS4 is better than the Xbox One. I have an Xbox One, so it's like maybe I'm biased.
Well, and here's the thing is, from someone who has a PS4 and an Xbox One, which is downstairs, they both feel like whatever to me.
Yeah.
Like PS2, you plug that shit in, you're like, this is...
You're like, holy
this hits
shit.
right.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4, I'm like, eh. Xbox One, I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
And like, that's... It, and as sad as that sounds, but they're on the same level to me. But I totally agree. PS2 beats the brakes off the Xbox. Absolutely.
But then
PlayStation
the 360
3
is way
got turned around and got its ass whipped by the 360.
Yeah.
And so I totally agree. It's just C tier to me.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 4, though, Guns of the Patriots.
PS3.
PS3.
Great game.
Fucking amazing game. I think I brought up Metal Gear Solid every time I've had a chance to so far. Anyways.
Do what you gotta do, baby.
That alone is worth owning a PS3. Also... what's that? MotorStorm. MotorStorm is sick as shit. And that's about it. Is for me on the PS3, honestly.
Yeah, when my dad bought his PS3, the 2 games that came with it were Fight Night Round 3, which is great. Fight Night Round 3 is really fun. Fight Night series are really good.
That's also on the 360 though, right? Isn't it?
No, Fight Night.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different. I'm thinking of a different one.
I think Fight Night was a PlayStation exclusive.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
I could be wrong, but I want to say
for some reason I thought it was, but
because like when my dad bought his 360, it was when Halo 3 came out, and he has
see,
the Master Chief console, so it's the dark green one.
Halo 3 is on a whole nother level.
Well, and like his 360 console is like the Master Chief collection, so
it's beautiful.
It's so
gorgeous.
Fucking sick.
It's gorgeous. One of my friends had it.
Green base with like the gold detailing.
One of my friends had that too.
So pretty.
So pretty.
That game was that console.
See, okay, and that's the problem with the PS3 is we started talking about the PS3 and ended up talking about the 360. So that's really what the problem with the PS3 is.
That kind of shows you.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, on to PS4. Now, this is where I might get in trouble, because I put it in D.
I think I also have it in C, because it's just like, I don't really care about it, because I don't have one. It's not really...
Oh my god, mine's all the way down here.
That's fine. Well, because like on the ones that like I've played on, but I don't own, I don't really have too much of an opinion.
I think the main problem with me now is all the games that are amazing for the PlayStation 4, why on earth would you have that when you can get the FPS boost and the resolution boost on the PlayStation 5? What is the point of the PlayStation 4 anymore? And I understand that. I understand that. But for me, personally, which this is our list, there's no reason to have a PlayStation 4 anymore.
Because you own the PS4.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And that's why on my list in particular, PS4 really goes down.
Gotcha. For sure.
And as mean as that sounds, but
I have no problem.
It gets curb stomped to the side just because. Why? Spoiler alert for Xbox One lovers.
Same thing.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Okay, PlayStation 1. I actually have it right here.
Oh really?
Yeah. You know.
I have it below the PS3.
Below the PS3?
I do. Because it's like the PS2 and the PS3 were like I either owned or they came out around the time where I was like really starting to play video games. So I just have more.
I got you.
Usage out of those than I ever do.
I would be down to average it if we put this at the top of C.
Cool with that.
Because the PlayStation 1 definitely goes above the PlayStation 3.
Okay.
I believe.
And I don't have this. I don't have enough frame of reference.
Like Tomb Raider and like Crazy Taxi and Gran Turismo and all of those games are so amazing on the PlayStation 1 and Metal Gear Solid. They're all so good on the PlayStation 1. Spyro. Crash Bandicoot.
Spyro's
Crash Team Racing.
You made your point. I get you.
I'm cool to keep it in C, but it's got to be better than the PlayStation 3.
That's cool.
And I'm cool with that.
But is the PlayStation 3 a better console than the Game Boy Advance?
No fucking way.
No?
No fucking way.
You don't think so?
No way.
Like the basic Game Boy Advance?
No. Just thinking of the catalog of the Game Boy Advance.
That's cool.
PS3 can sit there for me.
That's chill.
You cool with that?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Okay. Now here we go. The PSP. This is the only other one I had in the S tier besides the GameCube.
Blows my mind that you're married.
Okay, so
because I feel like there's only one thing that Gage loves more than Whitney, and that's the PSP. Or the PSP.
Love
or the PSP.
The PSP. And so this is where I got to show you now is so we have one PSP, we got two PSP. What? There's a third PSP? What? It's a PSP Go? I fucking love the PSP. This is a 1000 model. Here, hold that bad boy. A 2000 model.
I do love this.
Yeah.
I do like that a lot about the PSP
So
Go.
there's the 1000 model. Feel how heavy that is. Then this is a 2000 model. Feel how like plasticky it feels.
It does feel very plastic.
And then this is the 3000 model. Feel how perfect that feels.
I do like this one.
Yeah.
To me, this one kind of.
And then he already mentioned it, but the slide up on the PSP Go.
I feel like these two are very similar. This one just feels a little bit cheaper made.
Yeah, it's just different screens and a little more plasticky is all it is.
For sure.
And then PSP Go is fucking amazing. And
did the PSP Go take the same games as like the PSP?
So that's the thing is.
Have, like, special...
That's the thing is I love the PSP because they have the UMDs, the little discs.
What movie is in there right now?
It's actually Ridge Racer. And so 1000, 2000, and 3000 all took the discs. PSP Go is so incredibly ahead of its time. It's digital only.
Is there
There's no discs. There's no nothing. You just download the games to it.
Okay.
And so it's actually really it's dead, but it's really really sick actually.
It looks like a sidekick.
It does look like a sidekick, which are badass. But then the other thing that is like, oh my god, that like blows my mind.
You can just connect it to
is TV. It fucking outputs to the TV. So you have AV cables. This is for the 3000, and then the Go also does it, and so you can hook your Go up to it via AV cable. The Go also pairs to a PlayStation 3 controller.
Oh.
So you can play it with a PS3 controller through your PSP Go to your TV. It's fucking rad. It's the
Very
Switch
cool.
Before the Switch.
Yeah.
Years before the Switch.
That's a really good way to describe it.
And then it has one of the greatest catalogs of all time. I wish you could see it. I have probably 100 games over here. And then it also plays fucking movies. And I probably have 50 or 60 movies over there. PSP is wonderful.
You got some of the best over there too. You got Old Boy.
Yeah, dude. I have Old Boy, Pulp Fiction.
You got Spider-Man.
Yeah, dude. It's
Tron.
It's sick. It's
Dave Chappelle's
Kill Bill.
Yeah. Killing themselves.
It's the first season of Dave Chappelle.
Sick.
Yeah.
You have Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
The first two Saws.
Gojira.
Dude. PSP's awesome. I absolutely put it up here.
Joe Dirt.
But we'll see what Brandon has to say. Talladega Nights.
Oof. Hostel.
Yeah, dude.
Oh boy, not another teen movie. Nice.
Dude.
American Pie. Sick. Is that Triple X?
I also have the Cowboy Bebop movie, but it's just not in the box. Dude, the PSP is so incredible.
Should have worn my Cowboy Bebop t-shirt.
We'll wear it next time. But anyways, yeah. So I absolutely... PSP for me is an S all day.
I have PSP at top of B because I never owned one. I only played on them on the
Okay.
bus. I have, spoiler alert, I have all of the PSPs in one spot.
Oh.
They're all just at the top of B because I never owned them.
Yeah.
I only played them.
I think if we get one Audible per season of this show,
you gotta put PSP
I'm pulling it out. PSP absolutely.
Just like the straight PSP, not the PS Vita.
Yep, this is only the PSP. Okay. PSP has to be an S. It has to be. And I think it is a completely slept on console.
For sure.
It's as you can see, it's incredibly fun to collect for. It's not that expensive. Honestly, everyone should have a PSP. They're so good. It's my favorite Sony console.
For sure.
Anyways, yeah, that's my Audible. I'm keeping it there, but I won't usurp our other two S's.
Our other two, yeah.
Because I do agree.
Those are both agreed.
Exactly. I also think they're both better than the PSP. Okay. But PSP absolutely entirely needs to be an S. Now down to the Vita. PS Vita. Here, we'll show you. Here, there's one. Here's another.
I do like the sticks on these better.
They feel really good, right?
They
feel really good, right?
This basically makes me feel like I'm holding a Switch.
Yeah.
Like if
and the funniest part is Vita's resolution and screen is like tenfold that of the Switch.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's so much better than the Switch.
That's very good.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, Vitas are incredible. I love them, and the catalog, are amazing. Especially when Sony was making games for it.
Yeah.
Like the Uncharted and stuff that are on the Vita.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. Persona 4 Golden. Oh, dude, I love the Vita. I put the Vita. I put it in B.
Yeah, that's where it was for me. So.
But I would say it's.
I have them all.
Yeah, it's better than Game Boy Color, I think.
Is it though?
Yeah. For me. No, I'm fine. It's better than the DS's.
That's fair.
I'm fine keeping Game Boy Color.
I just love the color.
Color's sick.
It's great.
You're actually right.
It's very, very good.
Pokemon Gold alone.
Wow,
interesting. Pokemon Gold, Persona 4 Golden. Look at those.
Good point.
Two titans.
Good point.
Anyways.
Two titans of the industry.
Here is the...
Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Randy Savage. You're talking about Metal Gear Solid. I bring up wrestling.
You gotta bring up wrestling. Sega Saturn. It's better than... No, it's not.
I think...
It's here for me.
I think all the ones in E tier are like the only ones that I have just absolutely...
Sega Saturn, I only played once in my life, and it's whatever. It's
chill.
It's forgettable.
Chill.
Now on to Super Nintendo, which I had at the very top of A tier.
The SNES.
The SNES. Where do you have it? Where'd you have your Super Nintendo?
Let me double check. I don't even think I put it on here.
Okay. No opinion, or?
I think I just forgot to put it down somewhere. So, I don't know. That's another one that it's like, I've only played very, very minimally.
Yeah.
Like, I've played it more than the NES, and I've played it more than, like... Yeah, I don't know. I don't have, like, a huge opinion one way or another about it.
To me, Donkey Kong Country, all three of them.
Okay.
And Link to the Past alone.
Great.
Oh, and Super Metroid. That combo can put it in A tier all day of the week. I personally think I enjoy the Super Nintendo games.
Jesus Christ.
I think I enjoy the Super Nintendo games.
Up and I had to just get it out.
Yeah, I saw it, dude. Is like charging a Kamehameha over there, dude. Anyways,
hard.
I think the Super Nintendo is better than the PlayStation 2, personally.
For sure.
You down with that?
I love the PS2, and I don't really have an opinion on the SNES, so it's like, that's where it gets hard.
You want to do this just because it is our list, not my list.
And it's like,
and I'm down with that.
The PS2 is so good.
I think both of them absolutely belong. They fought hard. They fought really hard for their spots.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. All right, Switch. Now, where did you put yours? Because this, I feel like I have a real unpopular opinion.
Switch is another console that I don't own. It's the middle of B.
Okay. I Actually, I have it all the way down here.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Probably here, actually. And I know that's really not going to be the opinion.
Super popular opinion.
But to me, the catalog so far sucks. And it's 4 years old at this point.
Yeah,
and
I guess it is.
It sucks, man. Like, the games on it are whatever. So, okay. Very similarly to GameCube, my least favorite Zelda, Breath of the Wild, is the Zelda that's on here. My least, not my least favorite, my second least favorite Smash Bros. Ultimate is on here.
What's your least favorite Smash?
Smash 4, the Wii U one.
Okay.
One of my least favorite Fire Emblems, Three Houses, is the Switch one.
Interesting. You got what?
The Paper Mario's not that good. The Mario Party's really awful.
Yeah, you got what? Is it Odyssey on there? Or is it
Odyssey is on there, which Odyssey is pretty good, but I mean it's whatever, honestly, to me. And that's where we're at. And the real thing is, the Virtua Console is a big fat L. It is awful.
Really?
The Virtua Console sucks so bad, and they also Zelda 2 is the hardest Zelda game. And there is a version of Zelda 2 on the Nintendo Online that you can get. And they do have regular Zelda 2, but it's buried all the way at the bottom. Instead, if you were to start playing the one that's at top where it says, oh, here's Zelda 2, it is a Zelda that already has everything unlocked and your max level. And granted, it's still going to be hard as fuck.
But it still kind of defeats...
But it really defeats half of that game, which is getting your ass kicked over and over and over and over again until you finally realize what the fuck you're doing.
Right. That's like if you started like Sekiro or like
exactly.
Dark Souls,
if you start Dark Souls
games.
max level,
yeah.
and it's like, okay, here's easy mode for the first little bit, and then you're gonna get your ass handed to you and not enjoy any of it.
Yeah.
And also the whole overworld's unlocked and everything in that version. It's just they really butcher that game and how crushingly difficult it is.
Right.
And so like that, and the Virtual Console just sucks, and the selection's not that good, and it's 4 years old, man. Like Animal Crossing's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mario Odyssey is pretty good. I mean, Breath of the Wild is still an amazing game, but it is my least favorite Zelda, and I know that is definitely not a popular opinion.
Probably not.
I think Breath of the Wild gets jerked off a lot as like the best Zelda, and I just don't. I don't think so, man. But yeah, right now Switch, it is my least used console by far.
Interesting.
Yeah, by far. If I were to take a handheld console, it ain't gonna be the fucking Switch. I'll tell you that much. It's gonna be my PSP or my Vita or my 3DS every day of the week.
Yeah.
But you had it in B.
Yeah, but it's like you.
Do you want to even it out? Put it in C.
I don't really care.
You know,
it's
like,
so.
do you want to like?
I wasn't hurt. I wasn't
D,
hurt
maybe?
when you said it was in D.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, you don't have an opinion.
It's another
one way or
console
another.
that I don't own.
And
it's like I've played it.
The only reason I'm hesitant to like, just fight for it because I know this isn't the regular opinion. People love their Switches. I just don't think it's as good.
You're not.
I don't think it's as good as everyone makes it out to be.
Yeah, it's one that I need to get. Like I'll buy one.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Get a Switch, and try all the games, and like feel okay. Mario Kart 8, you play that, and tell me it doesn't just make you want to play Double Dash.
Right.
That's all it does for me. That is like the teaser for what games could actually be. I play Ultimate, and it's like, why am I not playing Melee?
Right.
You know, and like
I would rather play Brawl than this. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Brawl's my second favorite.
Brawl's my favorite, but it's
Brawl's my second favorite. And this is coming from someone. This is coming from someone who plays all of them competitively.
Right.
Brawl has the coolest shit besides Melee.
Yeah.
Ultimate's like baby shit. It's like boring. Anyways.
Right.
Okay, on to the only one that is actually genuinely a bad console.
Virtua
Boy. There are a couple good games on it. Wario Land is dope.
Tight.
And then there's a fighting game that's cool. But everything else is horrible and gives you a headache.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Wii U.
Gage loves the Wii U.
This is why I'm passing it to Brandon.
I don't. For me, when I think of the Wii U, I think of a a lesser version of the Switch.
Oh, not of the Wii.
Not of the Wii. Because when I think of the Wii U, now that I have the frame of reference of the Switch...
Yeah. It's what...
I just feel like, well, like, the Switch is just an upgraded Wii U that people like a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's got the... It's got, like, the handheld screen, but it's also got the TV compatibility.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what... Do you get
I
what I'm trying to say?
I understand that, like, it would be easy to see the Wii U as sort of like a study of what the Switch was going to become. Right? Like, this was our trial period.
Right.
Like, taking it out to market, seeing how people feel about it, and then we're going to release the Switch. But...
Do you want to grab your Wii U?
You want to hold it?
Sure. Okay. Well, it's like, you grabbed all the other ones.
Yeah. Wii U. The reality is... Yeah. It's more, to me, like a Wii Plus.
I can understand that.
And it's because the gamepad isn't used like a Switch where it's like, hey, you're taking your games mobile. It's used as more of an attachment for the games. So, like, there's stuff that you do on the Wii U gamepad that affects stuff in the game, or like in Zelda, your inventory's down on the screen and stuff like that. But it's not like you take this in the car and you're just playing on this. You know what I mean?
I get you.
And the real thing that carries the Wii U for me is the Virtua Console. It rules to it's so good. The best Virtua Console, for sure. No doubt.
Where did you put it on yours?
I had it right here.
I'm okay with that.
You're fine with that?
Yeah, because it was the top, top of D for me.
I think the Wii U is absolutely slept on, and I do think it is a better console than the Switch, and I know I'm wrong.
Well, opinions aren't wrong.
Yeah,
if you're going based off of like reviews and facts,
and
whatever,
I do, I do think the Switch can redeem itself. I'm mostly waiting for Skyward Sword HD. I really want to see what they do with Skyward Sword, and then maybe all of a sudden the Switch starts coming up. But like Wind Waker HD alone on the Wii U is it's phenomenal. I have played my Wii U this year probably 20 times that of the time I put on my Switch.
Really?
Yeah. That's just the way it is.
Fair.
Now we get a story.
Yeah.
Wii. How was that as a first experience into video game consoles?
I loved it because like the first 2 games that I got for the Wii were Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
So good.
I know, right? It's the fun. It's
so good,
dude. And then SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 featuring ECW.
Which you liked?
Love. Great. After watching people do like playthroughs of some of the SmackDown vs. Raw games, I would have preferred having them on a different console. Like I would have preferred having them on an Xbox or a PlayStation or something like that.
Yeah.
But working with what I had,
the Wii did just fine.
Dude, the Wii was great. Wii Sports obviously is great.
Oh, dude,
what is it, like Wii Club or whatever, where it's like all the country club shit.
Oh yeah.
That's great. Wii Play.
Wii Play.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
it had,
and then
Wii
Sports Resort is also amazing.
Wii Sports Resort's great.
And yeah, Wii Club. Yeah. Wii Play or whatever it's called. Yeah, that one's sick.
Yeah.
With the tanks was really fun.
Yeah. So yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then I'll throw in the worst version of Twilight Princess.
Was on the Wii.
But it's still good.
Right.
And Excite Truck. Did you ever play that game?
No.
Dude, maybe one of the most fun racing games I've ever played.
Really?
Ever.
Really?
Excite Truck on the Wii. And I think it gets forgot about because it was a release title.
Mm.
So good. That game is incredible. I have it. Do you have a Wii at your house?
Not anymore. We got rid of it.
So, fine, we'll make a date to play that too.
For sure.
We'll play Excite Truck.
Do you want to know one of the games that I played, like on the Wii was my first experience with one of the Call of Duties. Was I played Black Ops on the Wii.
Oh.
Because I rented it from the Redbox.
I played Call of Duty 3 or something like that. One of them on Wii. It was pretty alright.
Yeah.
It was pretty alright.
And well, because it was like my dad had both Modern Warfares, like the first 2 Modern Warfares.
Yeah.
for his PS3, but it was like I wasn't allowed to play him because I was like 7 or 8, and then when Black Ops came out in like 2009, 2010, I was like, y'all can't tell me shit. I'm a big boy.
You rented it,
and so I rented it from the Redbox over by my house.
It was good.
It was great.
Honestly,
it was fun. My mom was pissed, but she was like, I was like, whatever, dog. This is great. I love this.
I honestly feel like
the Wii's awesome.
Like the cursor aiming and stuff is kind of amazing.
It was really good because it was almost like playing on PC.
Yeah,
so it kind of was a little bit easier to maneuver, but yeah, sometimes it was a little like
a little wonky, and like that's okay. Like Skyward Sword, that's expected. You had to reset your controller a lot because it was so serious on movement and stuff. But I mean, honestly, Wii, I really like the Wii, and
I love the Wii. It's great.
Huge boon to it. Completely backwards compatible, can play every GameCube.
Yeah, that was
that
something that I really liked.
So rad, dude. That is so rad. I wish more consoles would, because I mean they're kind of doing it now, like where the Series X and the Xbox One kind of share catalogs because they're it's just the same catalog, you know. And so the Series X gets the more like the 4K version, and the Xbox One doesn't. But it's still the same catalog. But GameCube and Wii, two totally separate catalogs. But the Wii's like, fuck it, I'll play you too. Like, and also
that was what I liked about, like, not exactly that because it was obviously the same console, just newer. But I liked that about the PS3 was that you could play PS2 games on there because I had a shit ton of PS2 games, but I only had a few PS3 games. So I played a lot of my.
Here's
PS3
a rad
games
thing about the PS3: the original PS3, release 1, the 1000 model, plays PS2 and PS1 games.
I didn't know that.
The other PS3s do not, though.
Yeah, I played a lot of like SmackDown vs. Raw 07
the original
on the PS3, but I had it on a PS2.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and that's sick. But the PS3, the original one, dude, dope.
Right, yeah.
And you can play all your PS1 games through an HDMI.
Sick.
Badass.
Sick.
So sick.
Where's the Wii go?
But, and one more point to why the Wii U is so dope, it also plays all the Wii games. And so that's cool too. I put it... I actually put it right below the Wii U.
Really?
Yeah.
I have it in the bottom of Wii.
I'm actually fine with that.
I love the Wii. Dude.
I'm actually so fine with that. I have a lot
better memories with the Wii than I do the Wii U.
I'm so fine with that. Wii was...
Wii's great.
Not the first, but the second console I went to the midnight release of.
Wii was the first console I ever got.
Badass. Okay, here's a big one. 360.
Love it.
I got it all the way up here.
It's great.
I got it right there.
I have it there too.
Sick. Cool. 360? Amazing. The catalog, again, boy howdy.
Halo 3, baby.
Halo 3 alone? Oh, Gears of War?
Yeah.
Gears of War 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, 360's rad. 360 is really my first online console, and they changed everything.
Yeah.
Changed everything. Like 360 is badass.
Easy there.
Xbox One.
Put it next to the PS4, maybe?
That's exactly what I thought. I think it's better than the PlayStation 4.
I have an Xbox One. It's good.
It's whatever.
It's a good console for what it's supposed to be.
Honestly, spoiler alert, if it were on here, Series X, I'd just put it here.
Really?
Yeah.
What about the PS5?
Now, see, that's where... PS5 is the first time in a long time where I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
PS5 would go, like, right here for me.
Oh, good.
Somewhere in here.
For sure.
Yeah. Series X, it's just another whatever. I don't care.
Just a little bit better.
Original Xbox, I actually have it here.
I'm cool with that.
You're cool with that?
Yeah. I think I have the most... Behind the Wii... I think I have the most hours logged on the OG Xbox. Yeah.
Also, super slept on part of the original Xbox, played your CDs, and that, like, playing through your TV speakers and stuff, was badass.
Yeah, sick.
Sick. I love the original Xbox a lot. I love it a lot. I'm cool with it there. Then Master System, I don't have enough of an opinion to put it anywhere, so I just put it here.
I have nothing.
Because I have only played a Master System maybe 3 times.
What is it?
It's just another... It's like an NES, basically.
Oh, okay.
I think it's 16-bit, though, so it's like more like a Super Nintendo. But it's just whatever. Maybe here. I don't really have enough of an opinion.
It was originally modeled an export version of the Sega Mark III.
Yeah, it's just like a Sega step up.
Yeah.
I think it's
just released in '85.
It might be before the Genesis. I can't remember.
It's $200.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
All the Sega consoles are hella expensive.
Bro, 17,000 yen.
Yeah. Some fatty ass yen, dude.
Fatty ass yen, baby.
Do you see any problems with this?
I don't. I really don't. As long as we have the GameCube and the N64, and there's nothing better for me.
I absolutely agree. And I know that I have some opinions that people aren't going to agree on, like the PlayStation 4 and the maybe
Switch.
Xbox One and the Switch being down so low, but I mean, they're just blah.
Maybe the Wii being up a little bit higher.
I would much rather play my Dreamcast than any of those.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so cool with this.
Yeah.
What did you draft as your pick?
The N64.
I did GameCube, of course.
But it's like, that's another one where it's like I have zero issues with the N64
Yeah,
being the tippy top.
Oh, I have Nintendo 64 all day. I fucking love the Nintendo 64. But just to me, GameCube is the peak, man.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
It's great.
You good?
Cool.
Hell yeah.